We've been doing this for 9 weeks.
20 views in toto.
But I mean, that's still, like you said, that's the first trimester, so this is episode 9 of the PSA podcast.
Really, we're just going to do it for ourselves now.
Yeah.
Which is really why anybody has a kid.
Yeah, I know.
It's really just for you.
All right, welcome to episode 9.
Are we recording?
Oh, yes, because that was actually really fun to kind of riff about the first trimester. So welcome to episode 9 of the PSA podcast, Philosophy, Science, and Alcohol. As always
of these last 9 weeks.
9 weeks. Wow. We've done 9 of these.
Wow.
That's more than I did.
More than 8.
But still less than 10. I feel like next week we should think of something pretty.
We should have an anniversary party.
I know, we should really.
Oh my god, just like a baby show.
We should get, like. I was like, we should get hammered drunk and try to get
streamers.
Like, we should get sparklers that we have inside the house.
Yes.
We should.
Yes.
Are they, well.
It'll blend in with the other stains in your carpet.
Oh, that's a lot of dog hair.
It's mostly dog hair.
It's mostly dog hair. She's blowing her coat because that's. You know what? Shut up.
I didn't
Please,
say anything.
please.
I growled.
In disagreement.
Of what?
Of the fact that she's blowing her coat right now.
I know. I didn't disagree. I'm agreeing and seeing the remnants of it all over your floor. Like, wow, she can blow.
Anywho, episode 9. Last episode, for the people that listen, we talked about comedy with a lot of local comedians. Mm-hmm. So that
if you could hear any one person in there, congratulations.
No, not at all. Like, if you could pick any of us out of the group, then you have been listening to every episode. And
that's amazing, and thank you.
Yeah, and thank you. Those probably 2 or 3 people that have done that for us.
Thank you, Mom. Love you.
I think my dad gave up after episode 4. He was like, I don't get it.
No.
He was like,
I don't want to say anything.
No, I know. No, it's what he was like. He was like, I tried the Game of Thrones one too. I don't watch the show. I don't get it. I don't get anything.
Well, if you don't get if you don't watch the show, then you obviously won't get the references.
Yeah, I know.
And you won't care at all. God, these people are really invested in this thing that I don't understand. That's how I feel about most churches.
Oh.
I've been binging on Rick and Morty, so if you haven't seen Rick and Morty, it's so good.
No, I've seen every episode. Why did that come up?
Because it speaks to my nihilist soul.
How far are you?
I just finished it.
You finished season 2? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you saw, spoiler alert,
the last.
Rick get captured.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so good. Yeah. And then Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Yeah, I remember him. And the pizza.
Oh.
Anyway.
I love that show.
Now I got sad.
Why did you get sad? Yeah, okay.
Because I had to wait a whole couple
But it was
months.
3 episodes ago, you talked me into watching the last episode of Futurama, which I did, which wasn't half as sad.
I didn't say it was sad.
You guys, oh my God.
I never said it was sad.
Both of you made it sound like it was so, like Leela had to watch Fry die over and over.
She did.
Yes, but that's all you said.
No,
you didn't say it was humorous.
You didn't want. No, it's Futurama, you asshole. Of course it's humorous. Are you fucking serious?
But okay.
That's the whole point of the show.
No. You say that, and yes, but I will agree. But the episode of Rick and Morty where Rick goes back to meet the hive mind.
Yeah.
The end of that episode. Are you fucking kidding me? The episode where they come back and it was no.
No, that one's sad. But no, it's not. I didn't say the last episode was sad. I said it was heartwarming. Obviously you weren't listening. God damn it, Brent.
All I'm saying is,
listen to me when I talk.
I get it. Why
do you think I'm saying words? Just because I won't listen to myself? I'm gonna stand the sound of my own voice. That's why I'm never getting a parrot.
You're never getting a. That's why I'm never getting a parrot. Or becoming a pirate captain. Either or, because parrots are involved in both.
I don't think they're mutually. I think you can get a parrot at the grocery store. Well, you know those pet store grocery stores they've got nowadays. You haven't seen those? Oh wait, that's PetSmart.
For who?
For everyone.
For people that eat
PetSmart is
fucking
for
goldfish?
everybody. You know what? If you go to a grocery store, they have dog food. And if you go to PetSmart, they have dog food, which could be people food. Because any food that you eat is technically people food.
I can cut that hole.
That's my way or the highway.
So we are on episode 9, and we talked last week about comedy.
Wait, you're gonna...
No. I'm just saying. I'm rolling back into it.
Oh.
Getting my thoughts back. We're getting back on the train.
Okay. This train, it's going off the rails.
It went off the rails a little bit with the dog food talk, but we're gonna get back off, and we're gonna talk about postmodernism for about 20 minutes.
Ooh. Good thing I know a lot about postmodernism.
I know. Well, did you do? Well, I didn't do any research in the kind of in celebration of what postmodernism is. There's no definitive to anything.
Okay.
I think that's interesting. I think the idea and coming from somebody who is a scientist who works with animals who understands the idea that there is some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Pattern. There's a pattern.
There are patterns, yeah.
There's a pattern. There's
laws of nature.
a form to
the formula, yeah.
Yeah. Not what I was thinking, but okay.
I know. I'm saying like. Okay, so are we recording now?
Yes, we've been recording.
I don't know. You don't tell me these things.
I know because
you just assume I read your damn mind. That's not how this works. See? That's not subjective. I cannot read minds. The end. Okay.
But there was also Miss Cleo in the 90s. And
Miss Cleo's full of shit. All right. So.
She's also dead.
Yeah. Oh no. Sorry. Oh, you're good. What is this thing?
That's our camera stabilizer.
Action video grip. Yeah. That should be used in a porn.
It probably is.
Really, that's the only reason they make things anymore. All right. So, postmodernism. Let's read.
I wanted to talk about this because I think it's where kind of a lot of people come in. Postmodernism describes both an era and broad movement that developed in the late 20th century across philosophy, the arts, architecture.
For those of you who don't know, the late
Christianity.
20th century is late 90s.
It marks a departure from modernism. While encompassing a broad range of ideas and projects, postmodernism is typically defined as an attitude of skepticism or distrust toward grand narratives, ideologies, and various tenets of Enlightenment rationality, including the existence of objective reality and absolute truth, as well as notions of rationality, human nature, and progress.
Instead, it asserts that knowledge and truth are the product of unique systems of social, historical, and political discourse and interpretation, and are therefore contextual and constructed. Accordingly, postmodernism thought is broadly characterized by tendencies to epistemological. Oh, that's a nice word. Epistemological and moral relativism, pluralism, self-referentiality, and irony. All right.
Yeah.
So, okay. Here's my issue.
Okay.
With postmodernism. First of all, it's a lot of big words that a bunch of artists are using to lick each other's assholes with. But I think that
Aren't we artists in what we do?
oh no. I'm not an artist. I just say things that are stupid and people laugh at it. But I think that to suggest that there is absolutely no objective truth
Yeah.
is total bullshit. 2 + 2 is 4. No matter how many times you go over it again and again, it's still 4. Maybe it's a social construct by, the Arabics teaching each other math back in the day, but, the fact is, gravity keeps you on Earth. The end.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to disagree. There are objective truths in the world. Scientific laws are objective truths. There's no way we can change that, no matter how much we want to suggest that some guy told us that gravity keeps us on the Earth. The fact is, we are not floating out in space.
Okay, now does scientific truth extend to creativity? Does it extend to the arts?
Yes.
Okay,
It can.
now okay.
It can
Now,
and it does.
is it in a way that says, and here's what I think, because going into this episode, like I kind of knew that's what you were gonna say, just from
Patterns?
Yeah,
Yeah.
from patterns.
Mm-hmm.
But does that extend into creativity? Does that extend into the arts? Does it extend into the idea that? And I think the most, if we can make a basic way of saying this is, if you were to write something, if you were to write a book, a novel,
Right.
a pamphlet, whatever you want to write, do you discern the meaning behind it, or does the reader?
So,
No, because you come at the idea of like if like you said we're gonna edit this, then I'm gonna
Isaac
sound smart.
Newton?
Yes, gravity,
yeah,
not Galileo. That was
Yeah.
heliocentricity.
yeah, that's
Okay. You know what? I messed it up, and that's
It's okay.
I'm gonna leave it in. So
Okay.
Isaac Newton came up with the idea of gravity.
Well, he didn't
That's
really
where
come
I'm
up with the
gonna start.
idea.
That's where the
He
theory.
just no, he didn't really come up with it at all. It was always there. He was on the earth, but he put a numerical, like, equation to it.
Okay.
So he put a force to it. He put an equation. He put physics to it.
Okay.
Now, and I don't know if he called it gravity. I'm not sure if he coined that term. But the fact is, the force of gravity was always there.
Right.
It is why we have heliocentricity. Like, that was way before Isaac Newton.
Right.
So, like, all that stuff, that's things we can try our hardest to deny it, and we do. People do deny it. I mean, you've heard of flat Earth people, and like,
There's a rapper.
yeah, he's like a famous rapper,
Yeah.
some guy, I don't know.
Hang on. I'm gonna look that up.
But there are people who deny it wholeheartedly,
Yeah.
and they believe it. And honestly, if this might be a postmodern idea, I don't know. But in my opinion, and in my subjective opinion about morality and general, I don't know, the meaning of life, as it were.
Okay.
Your world is what you make it.
Okay.
So in his brain, this is going to the scientific part. Chemically speaking, you get a dopamine or an oxytocin or a serotonin boost when you think you're right. And so if you can basically tell yourself that you're right and you can't be swayed otherwise despite even evidence, then you're still right. Technically, in your own brain, you are right.
What if that is in contrary to, like, well, okay.
To everything else, that's
Yeah.
fine, but you still have convinced yourself that you're right. And honestly, there's no way to tell someone that I could be wrong, quote, right now, in what I'm saying. I could be very wrong according to someone else's view of what is right. And so there's no way to tell whether or not I am correct in what I'm saying.
But I think there is in the idea of, like, you brought up the idea of like a flat Earth theory.
Yeah.
It's like, obviously,
Maybe not. Not to him.
not to B.O.B. That's who it is. That's the
B.O.B.?
rapper.
Yeah, it's not
B.O.B..
to him. To him, that is what it is. And it doesn't matter how many times we show him pictures, because it's like, oh, it's a 2D picture. Like, it doesn't matter how many times we orbit the Earth with our satellites. It doesn't matter how many times we, make a mobile in middle school because someone told us to. The fact is, he believes what he believes, and he is right in his mind. And everybody else is just wrong. Like, just suck it up and deal with it. So we can all agree on something that we perceive as being right. Most of us would agree that the Earth is round.
Right.
Most of us would agree that the sun is the center of our solar system.
Right.
And most of us would agree that we, as a solar system, are not the center of the universe. But, like, to him, that's all wrong. And who are we to say otherwise until we live it, until we
Go to space.
go to space. Exactly.
Space.
So, yeah, it's yes, your idea of what is real and what is correct is a product of other people telling you that you are correct. So, I agree with postmodernism in the sense that your reality is what you make it.
Okay.
but I also, being a scientist, want to believe that objective truth is out there.
So why do you, because what it sounds like is...
So I call bullshit on postmodernism because this is all about art and how, like, you can't have... Essentially, it's a way to say my art is my art, stop disliking it because it means something that you can't comprehend, you mere mortals. But, like, that's what postmodern... Like, read this shit.
No.
This is Dante going through fucking hell and being like, oh, these poor souls, I'm so much better than them. No. Postmodernism...
Not disagreeing with you.
I can't agree that there is... I do agree that we should distrust things that we have no proof for. I totally agree with that. Like, if someone tells you that the earth is flat, go ahead and be like, I don't know, show me a picture. But to, like, blatantly distrust, like, thousands of years of, you know, Isaac Newton, I don't know, actually it's not thousands of years, probably at this point it's like, what, hundreds? I don't know. But I don't remember when Isaac Newton...
1400s maybe?
1400s?
Let's go with that. I nailed that and Galileo, so let's go with 1400.
Yeah, sure, why not? But to go ahead and openly distrust something that has been a law that we have tested time and time again, that we, like, can see the patterns, we see the physics of time and time again, to openly distrust that would be what we consider madness. Now, as far as art goes,
right,
there are instances where I would agree that you can go ahead and oppose the status quo, as it were. Like, go ahead and be like, this red splotch on this yellow canvas means blah 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 blah. Because
no, it doesn't, because I was the artist and I'm going to tell you what it means.
Well, there's this it. Like, I think that the term postmodernism gives artists a chance to tell the people that are witnessing their art that they're wrong.
Unless they're a postmodernist artist in which they agree that there's no objective truth, in which whatever you take away from your interpretation of my work is what it means.
Okay, that's fine with me. Like, the fact is, people see what they're gonna see. You're not gonna, like, either people are going to like it or they're not, right?
Right.
And I guess I don't really understand what postmodernism is trying to say here, because I feel like I know people that call themselves postmodern that can just go jump off a bridge because they're so annoying.
They're like the vegans of the philosophy world.
Hey, no, there are some vegans that are awesome. No, this is like racism to vegetarians. No, there's so much ice. No, that was mean. I know lots of awesome vegan people.
I'm sure there are great vegans. I'm sure there's awesome postmodernists.
Yeah, no, I'm sure there are.
But there are also the majority of them.
Why did you have to relate them to vegans?
Oh,
what is
my
your
God.
problem?
Marathon runners.
Oh my gosh, would you stop? Would you just stop? Listen, it's not all, you gotta stop generalizing things, okay? We're talking about individual experiences of individual things. The fact is, you can have, I know some people who call themselves postmodern or even postmodern, which absolutely means nothing at all, that are insufferable because they are, you know, up on their pedestal. But I also know some people who call themselves postmodern because they don't feel like any other, you know, term defines them, and so they're like, look, here's my work, it is what it is, you know, if you like it, that's cool. Like, maybe it was inspired by something in my life, but maybe it brings up a whole new idea in your mind. Like, that's fine. Like, as long as you like it and you're paying me money, I don't really care. Like, I could give a crap what you actually think about it. But because the ideas aren't always gonna overlap.
Right.
It's cool when they do. Don't get me wrong. Like, when someone's like, someone shows me a piece of art and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can totally relate to this because this makes me feel this way. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's weird because that's exactly what I was trying to go for when I was doing it. This is what it meant to me, and it means something very congruent with you. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always mean that, and and usually it doesn't. Like, I really don't like scribble paintings. I don't like, what is it, Jackson Pollock and like splatter paint and stuff. I'm like, it looks cool, but I work at a tiger rescue where we give the tigers paint and they roll around it and lick it, and it doesn't mean anything.
It looks the exact same.
It looks almost identical. I've seen some wonderful Jackson Pollocks
come out of
tigers rolling in mud and blue paint and then getting up, walking away, and taking a shit. We sell them at the gift shop.
No, you don't.
We do.
Shut the fuck up. How much are they?
They're like $20 for the big ones. They're like $5 for the little ones.
But they're only
But they're awesome. They look really cool.
No, I know, but they're only $20.
Yeah, they're not. And they come with a little picture of the big ones. I think the big ones are like 50, and then like the medium ones are 20.
Still.
Yeah, because they're just paper and paint. Like we don't.
Yeah, but you go into like a coffee shop and you see some local artist that's trying to sell their shit for like $550.
Yeah.
You think, fuck you.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no like. Sorry, like I'm sure there are like abstract painters out there.
I can't shit on vegans, but you can we can both shit on.
No, I'm saying I don't see it. I don't get it, and I'm sure that some people get
I don't get veganism.
That's fine. That's fine. So, some people who are vegan don't get veganism. They don't really understand what it's about, and that's all well and good. But I like there's an idea that like people want to analyze a person's writing or a person's art,
right,
and say this is exactly what Shakespeare meant when he wrote this soliloquy. This is what he meant. This is what he meant. No, this is what was interpreted by that one guy that told that other guy about the show that he saw, and the other guy went to go see a different version of it, and they both like came together like, but I thought it meant this. And Shakespeare is like writing his name different ways each time, so hell, we know who he really was. Like, he might just be like laughing at us all in the back, like never going in any of those talk backs or any some shit. And he's like,
that raises an interesting question. Then again, with what we do is if we were to say something as comedians on stage, does that go out open to interpretation, or are people bound by what we mean by it? Like if you were to make a statement about statement implies you're trying to say something, but if you were to make a joke about like you have jokes about online dating,
mm-hmm.
and someone was to come away and say, well, I didn't like what she said about online dating because
mm-hmm.
I online dated, and it went great for me, so I disagree because she's not right, I'm right because of my experience.
Right. That's fine.
Why is that okay? Why is another person allowed to tell you what you mean?
Well, they can't really tell you what you mean because you know what you mean. Right. They can not like it. That's perfectly fine. Like, I know a lot of people that don't like my stuff, and that's whatever. If
they can imply an interpretation from it, why are they entitled to their opinion?
Anyone is entitled to their opinion. That's true.
Why is their opinion allowed to tell you?
It's not allowed to tell me anything. I accept it or I don't. Okay. So, it's not. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. That is true, right? Right. And if everyone's entitled to their opinion, then everyone who is subject to those opinions is entitled to their opinion about that opinion, right? Yes. So, what we allow and what we receive and what we do with that information is totally, it's relative. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm not going to tell someone you can't tell me what I meant, because they can. They're entitled to tell me what I mean, and I'm entitled to be like, that's not what I meant, but cool, see you later, peace. Like,
so it's not going to. Postmodernism.
Yeah, it's not going to affect me. Yeah, no, I agree with that part of postmodern. As far as art goes, I agree that that everything is relative. Not even art, like in life, I agree with the postmodern idea that everything is relative. Everything that you perceive is what it is in your mind. I don't agree with the idea that you can totally remove yourself from objective things that we know to be true in science, but that's not really what postmodernism is talking about anyway. So if we're just talking about art, I totally agree.
What about morality?
Morality is relative, always.
I don't think that's true.
I do. 100%.
I don't think that's true.
So are we going to have a morality discussion?
I mean, I think okay, so you want to say there are scientific laws that are objective no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
You want to say that art and interpretation of art, for lack of better terms, as far as whatever it may be, as far as painting, writing, composition, blah, 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 can be subjective.
Absolutely.
I think morality is the middle.
Nope, I totally disagree. I think morality is always subjective.
But I mean, there's...
It's just sometimes everybody agrees.
Oh, that's the most fucked up thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's 100% true, and I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. I know you want it to not be true.
I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying, but like...
Do we want to have a morality discussion, or we want to wait on that one?
I mean, we can wait on that one, but
we can turn this podcast into a morality discussion.
I mean, we can absolutely do that, or we can wait that until...
Hypothetical questions are my favorite.
Maybe that should be episode 10.
So much. Okay, so we're going to go morality.
Episode 10.
Episode 10, morality. Okay, that's going to be intense.
Oh.
That's going to be so intense.
I like it. Because, like, it almost just took that step right there.
Yeah, that's going to be...
We haven't really had an argument yet.
We've argued a little bit.
A little bit, but not like...
Free will was a little bit of an argument.
A little bit.
But it was more like both of us bleeding out of our eyeballs. Trying to think while not thinking. Okay, so postmodernism is distrust toward grand narratives, ideologies, and various tenets of enlightenment rationality is one word. I'm not really sure I know what that is. Including the existence of objective reality and absolute truth, as well as notions of rationality, human nature, and progress.
Right.
So it just completely ignores rationality, human nature, and progress?
Yeah.
That's...
Oh, no, it says that
insane.
Human nature, rationality, and progress is subjective.
Oh.
Because when you talk about...
So it discredits it.
Yeah, it's a way of... I mean, they had... gosh, who was it that... Well, it moves into... I think a big idea is the idea of deconstructionism, is where you can... you can break down any sort of text or I mean, I think text is the big one as far as things go, because if you're gonna imply an idea, if you're gonna apply a worldview, you're gonna somehow imply it through a text or a speech or a whatever you want, and the idea that you can break that down and
2 + 2 = fish, and
that kind of idea
matters. I don't...
An analysis that questions the already evident understanding of a text in terms of presuppositions, ideological underpinnings, hierarchical values, and frames of reference. So it's
as far as art goes, we're talking about art. This is postmodernism is an art movement.
An art in the sense of yes.
Yeah, this wasn't a movement this wasn't a social movement. This is a specifically an art movement.
Yes, but in the way of also not just... Okay, well, to break it down, when someone says art, you think of painting or sculpture. No.
I'm going full broad range.
Yes. Well, that
written,
and then yes.
Spoken, and I assume music is in there too, though music is already kind of postmodern as it is. So,
yeah. So, is there when you take out the idea of what was the word?
I want to get into this.
Presuppositions.
Okay.
When you approach something, when you approach a painting or a text, when you approach a painting or a text without any sort of presuppositions, like, is that the objective truth? Or is the truth from said piece of art, does that come out of your previous understandings? If you were to read a book, a novel, and especially one more politically, socially influential than any others, does the truth of that come out of the text itself or your presuppositional understanding of it?
So
I'm trying to think of a good example.
Your interpretation of something is going to be what it is. Like, you can't, whether or not you think it's true is up to you. Like, you can't, no one can tell you what is and what isn't, right?
Right.
It's the same with the creator of the piece of art. No one can go up to the creator of the piece of art and say, you meant this, because the person who made it knows what they meant, if they meant anything at all. Or maybe they didn't know what they meant, and they're taking it in this idea that a person is throwing at them, deciding on their own if that's what they meant, and then.
But if you were to make some piece, if you were to create something, you knew what you meant by it.
Yeah.
Now, is that the real truth of it, or is it whatever? If you were to make that
so
thing,
for you, yes. For you, yes, that is the truth of it. You can't change what you believe is the truth. Like. Yeah, but you can change.
Now, if you were to make something and I disagree with it, and I say this is what you meant by it, who's right? I think that's the question. That's the core question of postmodernism when it comes to creativity, when it comes to art, is like whose interpretation is correct? Is it the creator or the person that
they're both
invested?
Correct? Ooh. I mean, you can't, like I don't understand your view on it, because there is no objective right and wrong. It's all subjective. This is what we're talking about. Postmodernism is all subjective, which means that they're both right. Because you can't just like tell someone who believes in their heart the truth, like. You can't tell me that, like, gravity isn't holding me down.
No. Let's break away from that.
Okay,
break away from the idea of science, and let's say.
So the art, you can't tell someone. So someone paints a picture of a flower.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in their mind.
In their mind, they see the flower that they saw.
Let's break it into bigger generalities than that. They paint a picture of a flower, and in their mind, that flower represents happiness.
Sure.
Now, you come along and you make a reference to that flower that maybe it was at a funeral, and so you interpret it as sadness.
Sure.
Who's correct?
Both of you.
Why?
Because the person who's seeing it as sadness is seeing it as sadness, and the person who sees it as happiness is seeing it as happiness.
So there's no right or wrong to anything.
No, it's all subjective.
So you're postmodern.
Sure. Why not? Like, I'm not even entirely sure I know what postmodernism is supposed to mean. And I want to talk about postmodernism because this doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Again, I think it's just a bunch of words to describe someone being like everything's subjective. Why call it some fancy words? Why put a bunch of like ridiculous phrases in it? Why, like, I don't know, why put so many syllables on something when all you have to do is be like, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Take away what you want. Like, it is.
No, but okay, so then.
I am the shortest sentence in the known world.
So, but if you were to create something and someone took away something from your piece of creation that you disagreed with.
Then they're taking away part I didn't want. They can take it. I don't want it. Yeah, you take that negative piece that you, like, if someone doesn't like my joke, then they can just go away. Take that part of it they didn't like and leave. The people who liked it can stay and who understand who are on the same.
But we
page as
exist in a
myself.
world where we are not given that luxury. Now somebody.
So that's the social.
Yeah.
Part of it, where you basically have, again, with postmodern, you have to question, or you have to go against the grain. You have to think for yourself. Don't be a sheeple. I don't know what kind of fancy terms you want to put on it, but like, yeah, hate is gonna hate, man.
I think that's how we have to end. Haters gonna hate.
So postmodernism.
That is. It's haters gonna hate. If you ever find yourself in
An existential quandary.
or some sort of academic debate, and they were like, "Your opinions on postmodernism." Yo, haters gonna hate.
Yeah, that's
Drop the mic.
It's my essay, Mr. Professor Man. Mr. Professor Man. Yeah, and then just like all this bullshit about like postmodernism, post-structuralism, cyborg age. The fuck is this bullshit? Metamodernism? Fuck you. All it is hate is gonna hate, and fucking deal, man.
Just keep doing shit for you.
Right?
Just keep doing shit for you.
That's the reason we do things. Just
do
for
it for
us.
you.
Yeah.
Keep writing for you.
That's right.
It's a good talk.
Yeah. Rock on, man.
So then episode 10 is morality.
Morality is gonna be a bitch.
I think
Oh man.
I think we
so much
can
fun.
plan it out, but I think we have to be like hammered.
I don't know if I want to be here. What
Maybe
are we doing?
not.
Are we
I
doing
don't
this
know.
on Monday?
No.
I got work on
I don't have
Tuesday.
work for any time ever,
Oh
so
my gosh.
it
You
doesn't
need to
matter.
get a job, right?
I do have a job. I'm just on break.
Okay.
I do have a job. I have to go. I've got shows this weekend. I got shows next weekend. You
Okay. Well, I have shows coming up too, but.
want to talk about those?
Are we plugging?
Yeah,
Are we
why not
plugging to
plug?
all those two people? Hi, Mom. I'm plugging to my mom about what's going on.
My dad gave up 5 episodes ago, so it's all good.
So yes, got a couple shows coming up on September 17th. I'm
Okay.
doing SparkCon, Comedy Spark.
Saturday night.
Yeah, I'm also doing the Clean Comedy on the R Line bus.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, it's gonna
I
be
would
so much.
never.
Oh, it's gonna be
Nope.
fun. It's gonna be so much
Anyway,
fun.
yeah.
I'm doing the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Doing shows, some in Wilmington. I'm doing a show in Wilmington on the 13th.
13th
Tomorrow with you.
No one's gonna. This will be out past when
Oh
that
yeah,
happens.
okay.
And when the 17th happens.
Oh,
But you're
yeah.
doing
20th is Bulltown
Yes.
in Durham. The 21st is Wilmington at Hell's Kitchen. The 22nd is what is this 22nd? I know I'm doing. Is Comedy Overload at Deep South Bar in
Nice.
Raleigh. And the 24th is the Green Monkey
showcase.
Showcase
Nice.
in Raleigh, and then the 29th is Eyes Up Here Showcase in Durham.
All right. 23rd and okay, no, it's gonna be past that. 23rd and 24th. 23rd, I'm in Wilson, North Carolina with John Reap. 24th, I'm in High Point, North Carolina with John Reap. Doing theater shows there. The next weekend, I don't think I have anything. And then the first big weekend in October, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, I'm going to be in Charlotte with John Reap at the Comedy Zone. So you can look up cltcomedyzone.com and get tickets to all that stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
Then the 14th and 15th, I'm going to be in Greensboro with Chris Wiles, which is going to be a good show. And people should come out to that. But I got a lot of shit coming up. So
Yeah.
it's just
Cool. Look at
right
us.
there. I know.
Killing the game.
Killing the game.
Um,
But thank you for tuning in to episode 9 of the PSA podcast, and we'll be back next week with episode
remember,
10.
when you sometimes you're getting down about the liars and the dirty, dirty cheats in the
remember-
world. When you could have been getting down to this sweet podcast, you guys.
Just remember, haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate.
Haters
hate,
gonna
hate,
hate.
So, thanks everybody. Tune in next week for
We will be back for episode 10 and
Haters
morality.
gonna hate.